Sunline releases a swimbait specific fluorocarbon. Ray Japan with a new hard bait and 2 new soft baits, and the Bass Puzzle Grass Piece drop you have been waiting for. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle.
God. Stud.
Oh.
Get back. Oh. Did you see that? Oh, we're gonna catch this fish first one.
Oh my god, this shit's so fun. That's how you get them every time.
Fired up. Oh, it's dirty.
Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, the Tackle Otaku on Instagram, being joined this beautiful, finally not so hot Sunday morning by my buddy David. Happy Sunday, David.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you guys. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. Hope you are getting some decompression time. Wild week this week. So cheers to you guys. Cheers to this community. I hope you guys are doing good. Hopefully you guys are fishing. And if you're not, I'm with you. I'm also not fishing and wishing I was. But at least we get to drink the delicious Orion, play with some cool tackle. So cheers to Sunday. Made it another week. Oh, that is good. Cheers, my friends. Now, if you're new here, welcome. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. We are going to highlight some new product drops. We got a few restocks this week, but we are going to really dig in and spend some time on a few of these products that have been out for a long time. You know, a lot of guys have been wanting to get. So, one more sip, and it's tackle time, baby. All right, let's jump right in. This has been right up there, I would say, you know, working class Zero Citizen line and the Bass Puzzle Grass Piece are probably the two hardest things to keep around and to have enough of for you guys. So today is the official, we're going to say, redrop of the 1/2 ounce grass piece. Now, I know by now most of you guys are familiar with this bait. I'm going to pretend that some of you aren't familiar with this bait, walk through it with you. This will also be a good chance to kind of refresh what the bait does, what it's designed to do, trailers, you know, everything that you need to work this bait. Now, if you're familiar with the Bass Puzzle Grass Piece, Bass Puzzle is a single guy, our buddy Hikaru in Lake Biwa, Japan, that has been, for the last several years since we've been bringing these to you guys, he has been basically hand doing every bit of this process. Hand making the blade there in Japan, hand doing the wire, pouring the heads, tying the skirts, painting it, packaging it, stapling it, all of these things, right? And literally he has been working round the clock to be able to produce just enough pieces to sell out very quickly and then not have any inventory anymore, right? So he has been working over the last almost 2 years to figure out a production way to increase the volume of these things, to be able to make them at some point, hopefully, more readily available for you guys. So basically what you guys are looking at today is a full 1/2 ounce release. Some point, maybe next month, hopefully, we'll see the 3/4 ounce come. Right behind that will be the 3/8 ounce, and then right behind that will be the Flex. Okay, so those are the 4 models that are out now. Hopefully by 2026, we can kind of bridge and be able to drop multiple sizes at the same time so that they can be more accessible as you guys get them. Now, I don't want you guys to panic when you get these. Up to now, every one of these has been literally hand painted, hand tied by Hikaru himself. Obviously, that's not sustainable forever. So he has a new factory that is doing the assembly for him. Okay, so the blade still hand punched and handmade in Japan. The hook still the same. hook from Japan. The wires, the head, everything, the skirt material, all still sourced at the same exact place. He's sending the pieces over to his factory in China to paint the head and to tie the skirt and to put it in the package. Okay, so this should allow him to be able to have a little bit more flow and to stop the complete manual system, so you guys will be able to get more access to these. The biggest thing it's going to do is going to allow us to increase the color line. Okay, and I'm going to go through the 8 colors that are dropping today. If you guys watched the JDM experience video that we did a couple months ago in July, we have new colors that'll be coming starting with the 3/4 ounce. So those would be US specific colors that'll go 3/4 ounce, 3/8 flex, and then we'll eventually cycle back around to the 1/2 ounce. Okay, so let's start with colors, and then we'll talk about trailers and just make sure you guys are fully up to speed. So I guess before we go into colors, just in case you guys don't know about the grass piece, what this is essentially, I guess you could say that it is a bladed jig, but it's kind of a bladed jig spinnerbait hybrid. Okay, and really what differentiates this bait is it was built for Lake Biwa. Okay, so if you guys are familiar with Lake Biwa, it's the largest lake in Japan. Giant fish, lots of grass, lots of vegetation, really big bass. So this was built to target those big fish while they are in heavy cover, which is an unusual thing actually for a Japanese product. A lot of times when you see these Japanese products come, they're more finessey, they're lighter gauge, they're more to kind of trick. Like if you think of the trends that we've seen over the last few years, the dice rubbers, the koi Ks, the eye motions, right? This is the opposite of that. It's a big, stout hook. It's got that kind of ZoWire coating on the hook. It's a heavy gauge wire. So it's built for heavier line, bigger fish, heavy cover. Perfect translation for our U.S. fisheries. The blade is really the secret here. It's a very special kind of, I don't know that it's necessarily proprietary material, but it's a very special material, and he spent years testing tons of different materials and metals. So the blade is kind of the secret, and the way it fishes, it allows you to cut right through grass. You can bring it through rock and wood very easy. You can burn it. You can fish it slow. But the biggest thing is that on the pause, the blade being separate allows the bait to have a hard movement, and then you kill it, and then it shimmy falls down. So with most, like a jackhammer, when you rip it out of the grass and you kill it, it just kind of dies, right? This one's the opposite. You rip it out and it just shimmy falls down. And what happens so many times with this style fishing is they'll hit it, and you'll feel the bump, and you pull and there's nothing there. And when you pull and then you kill it and you go back to slack, most chatterbaits, they yank and then they die and it's done. This one is kind of the opposite. It almost re-triggers them because you pull it and then it shimmies down right in front of their face, and almost 100% of the time they'll come back and eat it. If you want to see that in action, if you go back a week, I posted a video of some really insane grass piece action that we had earlier this year, and it was just dumb. And they were just stacked on a couple of little tree corners, and you can literally see me getting bit and swinging and missing, and then as it's dying, they come back and get it, and it's like boom, almost every time. Okay, so a very, very cool bait. 1/2 ounce is going to be probably your most universal. The 3/4 is a great one as well for fishing faster, fishing out deeper. 3/8 is going to be a great one for the shallow water. So pretty traditional, bait keeper on there. Now let's talk about trailers really quick, so you guys know what to do on there. So the trailer it was built for is the Depth Sakamata Shad 5-inch. Now, nothing basically over the last couple of years has been in stock at the same time, right? You guys know that, and Sakamata Shads have been a disaster. Good news is 5-inch Sakamata Shads, including a very special custom color, should be in the next week or two. Okay, so if you guys are running low or wanting to grab some for your grass pieces, they should be in over the next week or two. If you want some alternatives, the Megabass Sling Shad is a great alternative. Okay, it's made in the same vicinity as the Sakamata Shad. They got mad at me last time when I said the same factory. So the same area code. Also the Super Fish Roller 5-inch is a great one. DoLive Stick Non-Salt or Spec 2 4.5, all great options for this bait, okay? So let me show you a couple of different rigging options. And this is a trick that you guys can do that I learned while I was fishing with Hira. So the natural way to rig this thing, obviously, would be to just go straight on. This is a Megabass Sling Shad, by the way. So it'll have a very similar body look to a Sakamata. So this would be the pretty standard way of doing it, right? You just put it on the hook and go. And this way works absolutely fine, okay? Nothing wrong with this. So that's the simplest way to do it. But just a little trick that I learned from Hikaru and Shota while I was in Lake Biwa is if you rig this more like a Texas rig, okay, so you go in and out, slide that up on the head, and then put this through like this, okay. What it does is it causes that bait to have a perfect upright posture, okay, so it's just going to help lift it a little bit more and have it run perfectly horizontal, okay. It's not any extra weedless. I guess you could just, you know, text pose it, but that's not the point of it. It's basically dual hooked there, so it's completely exposed, but it just helps the bait lift a little bit higher, so you're just going to be able to run it over the grass, tick it over the grass, just subsurface, that kind of stuff. So you could use your trailer to dictate the depth of the bait. It really, really is a cool way to do it. So let's run through some colors. So Soft IU is the color that I had in my hands, which is a new color. Okay, so Soft IU, that's color number 1, just a great all natural color. Green Pumpkin, so it's going to have that dark black blade, green pumpkin body. There's White Shad. There's Black Blue, so black with some blue sparkle in it. There's Sharp White. Now we did change one minor thing to Sharp White. We gave it a red eye, which is pretty cool. Okay. Violet Gill, which is a favorite amongst many people. It's a great one. I love this color as well. Sweet Gold, so a good kind of golden shiner color. And then our staff favorite, MS Smoke Shad. So kind of a blend between a shad and a bluegill in there. Now, if you're wondering rod, line, all that, I break it down in that video, but basically this is something that I like to throw fluoro on, 16 to 20 pound. You could of course go straight braid if you wanted to. The P5 Destroyer BMG is my rod of choice, but you could do something like a Mad Bull. You could do, I like it to be slightly heavier powered than what I throw my jackhammer on, but of course you could throw it on your jackhammer on. Okay, but unlike a jackhammer or a traditional chatterbait, you're not attaching to the blade. Okay, you're attaching to the wire. So you're going to fish this more on like a spinnerbait rod than a true chatterbait rod, if that makes sense. So there you go. They are available, the 1/2 ounce grass piece. I hope I have enough so everybody can get their fix and get their fill. Chances are we're not going to see the 1/2 ounce back until spring. Okay, so I'm gonna do the best I can, but I already gave you guys the production schedule, right? We have 3 more sizes coming before this is going to be back in the assembly line. So if you guys want any of these for the end of the year or for early in the spring, I would scoop them up now. But there you go, the Bass Puzzle grass piece, 1/2 ounce, available right now. All right. Last week we had, it felt weird to drop a new bug bait without Jeff being here. David, you're fine, okay? But you're no Jeff when it comes to bug bait stuff, right? So week number 2. Now, I don't even know if this is a bug bait. I don't really know what category this is in, but I know it's cool, and I know a lot of people have been excited to use it. This is one of the new items from Raid Japan that we showcased and dropped during our JDM experience. This is the Raid Peller. Okay, now this is a crazy bait. This is going to be one of those that's going to be in that kind of crazy yet fun category. This is designed to be fished on kind of a nose hook. It's kind of a bug, caterpillar, leech, I don't know, it's a little bit of everything kind of bait. It has an unbelievable movement to it. A lot like the Raid One Way, it has these two front kind of plastic pieces here that when you pull against them, it's going to cause the bait to have a little bit of movement, and that movement is then going to be articulated throughout the body. So you can see that it's kind of a round body for the first half, and then it transitions to a flat kind of tail, and then you get a little bit more of a bulbous piece at the end. The whole combination is just going to allow this thing to kind of shimmy and move and articulate. So you can fish this right on the bottom. You can fish this on a drop shot, which is going to probably be the way most people are going to do it. You can do a light little Jika rig or something like that. But on a little drop shot, even if it's a short leader, and just pulling it, almost like a drop swim, it's going to have a built-in, just a really cool, different look underneath the water that a lot of you guys might find, you know, fun and interesting, but the fish certainly seem to love it as well. So I'm going to walk through these colors with you. By the way, it is 3.5 inches. Okay, so very easy size to throw. They recommend putting it on anywhere from a size 2 to a 6 nose hook, depending on the nose hook. If you guys are using like a little Ryugi nose hook, probably like a size 3 or 4 would be perfect on this, because it is relatively small at the head, so you don't need a big, huge nose hook on there. So let's fly through this. Now you can do a traditional, you know, like if you wanted to Texas rig this thing, you can absolutely do it. Let's see what they say on the package. They're saying a size 2 or 3 EWG style hook. So maybe something like the Ryugi Hobbit would be perfect for this, okay? So let's run through the colors. Green pumpkin is what I have in my hand, okay? There is also a, David, let me know if these colors show up good, but there's a smoke shrimp, scuppernong, crystal, which is kind of a full clear, kind of a cool color. There's a cinnamon shrimp, kind of a smoky brown cinnamon. That's kind of described it. Stealthfish. And then Zako, which is a really interesting color in this bait because it kind of comes from the superfish roller world. So interesting, they went with more baitfish-esque type patterns than like real dark buggy type patterns. So again, kind of blending those worlds in of, it's kind of what Raid does so good, is they build things to their needs, right? Not necessarily what tradition is saying to build. So there you go, the Raid Peller. Brand new product from Raid. Those are in stock and available now. Okay, staying on soft plastics. A month or so ago, we released a very cool new craw bait from Raid called the Batabata Craw. It's a 3-inch little cool craw. Really an amazing free rig bait. Right up there, I'd say, with the DoLive Beaver. A brand new size of Batabata Craw is here. This is the Batabata Craw 3.5 inch. Okay, so it goes up half of an inch, but along with that half inch, you get a larger body as well. Okay, so this will likely become everybody's normal size, I'm gonna say, here in the US. So here's a look at the Batabata Craw. If you guys are not familiar, this is how it comes out of the package. You are just going to pinch these claws. There's a little piece of plastic, just holds them together to make sure when you pull them out, they are ready to go. And there you go. It is ready for action. So you have basically a similar body to the Hira Tailor, which is their bluegill bait, that's built off this kind of chain, kind of twisty plastic that allows for amazing hookup ratio. Okay, so a lot of times when you get too much plastic on the hook, especially on a long cast or lighter line free rig like we do a lot out here, sometimes the hookup ratio is not great and you lose some fish. So this allows for a little different movement as well as a great hookup ratio. The paddles on the back are basically kicking on the way down. So as the weight is pulling the bait down, it's going to be kicking. When the weight separates from the bait and lands on the bottom, the bait turns horizontal and has a horizontal fall. So very, very similar style action to like an OSP DoLive beaver, where it has that fall and then it turns horizontal. So you get that kind of 2-in-1 action with this thing. You're going to see that it works the same. But you don't have to do it on free rig, you can do it on a drop shot. This is a size that's thick enough and big enough if you wanted to. You could flip this, you could pitch it around, you could jig trailer this, all kinds of different things you can do. I'm going to run through the colors with you. They're going to be similar to the 3-inch, but just to refresh, so obviously green pumpkin I have in my hand, that's going to be included in there. There's also a Zaka, okay, which is that really cool, really great baitfish pattern. There's an orange punch, so it's basically a brown and orange or green pumpkin and orange. There's a scuppernong. There's muddy shrimp, which is kind of like a cinnamon blue kind of flake, really nice color. There's a cola pink, so you're getting that kind of reddish brown and pink. There's a smoked shrimp, and there's a pile shrimp, nice basic cinnamon color. So there you go, the Batabata Craw 3.5-inch from Raid. Those are also available now. All right, let's jump over to a new hard bait from Raid. This is the SKM. Okay, so SKM is an acronym, Super Cossack Machine. Don't ask me. I think this is one of those typical Japanese acronyms. It doesn't make any sense, but SKM. Let's just call it SKM. Okay. This is a crankbait. I'm going to call it a crankbait because it's going to visually look the most like a crankbait. It's 60 millimeters, 3/8 of an ounce. The idea behind this bait was to bridge a gap between a shad bait and a crankbait. Okay, so you guys know that shad style bait's very, very popular in Japan. When I say shads, something like an eye by eye shad, you know, a shadding X style bait, right? Something, a high cut from OSP, something that's more shaddy profile, that is designed more as like a pulling style bait where you kind of pull it and it vibrates and it pauses and you pull it. And you can of course twitch it like a jerk bait or swim it like a crankbait, but it's kind of a less intrusive, more natural style of hard bait than a traditional crankbait. Most crankbaits designed to throw just wind in and they're going to wobble real hard, and sometimes that's too much motion, and sometimes a shad bait is too little motion. And so Raid wanted to create something that kind of just bridged the gap and went in between. And that is the purpose of the SKM. So it is built to have more water push and more volume push than a traditional shad bait, but it's also designed to maintain its profile like a shad bait. So it's going to be a real tight pitch wobble, so it's going to retain that full shape versus a full rolling or real wide moving bait. You can also have the ability to fish it incredibly fast. So you can choose if you want to go real slow, if you want to go really fast. It's going to deflect off cover great. It's going to have variable speeds. So you might find that this is something that fits really, really well in your arsenal. I'm going to say that it's really going to be focused towards guys that, well, and I hate to pigeonhole it. You guys figure out what works. But if you're thinking of the scenario where I could see this having a lot of game, if you're fishing highly pressured fish that are hanging out in the shallows, so skinny water, clear water, anything where they need to be able to see a bait and feel the presence, but not have it overwhelmingly loud or violent or, you know, too much movement, this could have a lot of play for you. Okay, so I'm going to walk through all the colors. So you have Pearl TFS in my hand. Okay. You have Zariyashi, which is basically going to be like kind of a red cross type pattern. You're going to have Hot Shot. You're going to have Magic Shad, it's kind of like a green gizzard-esque type color. Real Kinkuro, gold color. You're going to have Cream Shad, which is kind of like a bonish throwback color, almost really nice color. Bait Japan, which is a staple in their lineup. You're going to have Green Sour, kind of a chartreuse color. Neon Shad, and Clown. Okay, there is your color lineup from Raid. So there you go. The Raid SKM are available now. All right, let's talk about a new line to the market. This one comes to us from Sunline. A brand new Sunline Big Bait Fluorocarbon is here. Now, I don't have any experience with this. No idea if it's good or not. All I can do is tell you what they're telling us, and then, you know, we're all gonna be guinea pigs. So I'm assuming it's good. But basically, this is designed to be kind of the go-to line for swimbait guys. It's really the hyper focus that they've built this for. As you guys know, if you are a swimbait fisherman or you use any heavier things, going straight fluoro has some advantages and disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages is fluoro tends not to be stretchy. So you break off baits a lot of times when you cast, you get bit at the boat a lot of times and you yank and there's no shock absorption or stretch built into it and you can break off. So a lot of guys get afraid of that and they go to braid. Now, Sunline also has a line on the market called Shooter. In the sizes 22 and above, Shooter has built-in stretch. This is built with slightly more stretch than that. It's supposedly more shock absorption than that, but it's not coated the same way, so it's not going to give you the same longevity that Shooter would give you, but it's priced much less expensive than Shooter. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, and I think their thought process is a lot of swimbait guys change their line a lot, right? I mean, if you're casting all day with heavy baits, you're really putting that line through a lot of stress, so you should be changing your line a lot. This would give you a lot more economical way to do it. Plus, they drop down to 20 pound, and the 20 pound is going to have built-in stretch as well. Sunline Shooter starts at 22 pound on the stretchy sizes, okay? So, 3 sizes. There is a 20 pound, a 22 pound, and a 25 pound, okay? And they're going to be available in filler spools that are 165 yards, as well as bulk spools that are going to be 660 yards. The filler spools are starting around 25 bucks, so sniper-esque pricing. Bulk spools are in that kind of $90 pricing. So very similar price point to sniper. It's just going to give you a little extra kind of big bait punch in theory that you guys might really appreciate. Okay, so there you go, the Big Bait Fluorocarbon from Sunline. It's available now in all sizes. Okay, I know a lot of you guys are in or approaching quickly that kind of mid to deep crankbite for that late summer, early fall, and straight through fall time period. OSP Blitz Max DR is a bait that a lot of you guys utilize, and we see a big restock in some select colors this week from OSP that I know a lot of you guys have been looking for. Some custom colors, some standard colors, a little bit across the board. The OSP Blitz the Blitz Max DR is kind of my favorite go-to size. Now there is a new Blitz Max Plus DR, which kind of bridges the gap from this to the Magnum that will be coming out later this fall, probably November-esque, November or December, somewhere in there. But the Blitz Max DR is a perfect one for that kind of 15 to 18 foot range. It's money. So I'm just going to kind of run through some of these colors with you. Bone Air, which is our custom color, is back. Essa Gill is back. So Sick is back. Knockout Craw, back. Right, Dirty 30, which is a killer shad pattern one, killer fall pattern, back. And then a bunch of standard colors that have been out for a while. So Ghost Minnow returns, Genuine returns, Blueback Herring returns, right? So take a look. If you guys are fans of the Blitz Max DR from OSP, this is a great week to scoop up the colors that we've been missing. Those are available now. All right, let's jump over to Megabass real quick. A huge restock week from Megabass across most of the core items, as well as some kind of hard to find things. So if you guys have been looking for things like Karashis or, you know, Dog X Quick Walkers, 110s, juniors, etc., deep sixes, huge restock week across the board from Megabass. So this would be a great week to poke around, take a look, see if anything that you've been missing is around. There's also a new package and 2 new colors in the Megabass Spark Shad. Okay, so these are going to be available in a 3-inch, 4-inch, and a 5-inch. First off, let's talk about the packaging. Megabass is going to be transitioning all of their packaging out of that kind of red and black package to this new kind of green and gold. So you're going to see this across all of the soft baits. So Spark Shad is the latest one to get this new package. Gone is that paper that used to be in the back. I don't have an old pack around, do I? No, but you guys know. So there's going to be still a transition period where some of the colors are still being produced in the old package. Some of the newer colors are being produced in the new packaging. So if you order a couple different colors and you get a couple different packages, that's what's happening. Okay, so let's jump in and talk about 2 new colors. This is a new color called Natural Shad. Let me just take it out so you guys can see it. This will be available in the 5-inch, the 4-inch, and the 3-inch. So kind of like they're real, but a little bit more pearl, a little bit of flake in there. So just a really natural, that'll be a good all-around color for everybody. Okay, so again, there's the 4-inch, there's the 3-inch. Okay, so those are available now. There's also a new color. Let me grab these. Stay, buddy. Green Pumpkin Shad is also now available in the Spark Shad. Okay, so basically green pumpkin on the back and kind of a pearl shad on the bottom. So very similar colors actually. Here's Natural Shad, there's Green Pumpkin Shad. So just a slight variation. This is more of a smoky, lighter brown. This is more of a true green pumpkin. So again, 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch in the new Green Pumpkin Shad. Those are also available now from Megabass. All right, while we are finishing Megabass, also a huge restock on rods this week. So if there's anything you guys have been missing, majority of models are back. So in Levante, Whip Snake is back, Shaky Head is back, Leviathan is back. All the key models that have been out for some time are back, and all of you guys been looking for that Whip Snake. Sorry, hit your camera. Also on the P5, majority of models are back on these as well. So if you guys have been waiting on any models, the majority of these are back. FMJ's back, BMG's back, a bunch of the Japanese models are back. There's also some special bulk bundles, so you guys might want to check those out if you guys are big into the used rods. There's a couple of bulk bundles in there. There's a Megabass bundle, there's a couple of Iowas in there, there's a Loomis one. So you might want to check those out. Great chance to scoop those up as well. And that is a wrap on today's What's New. Now, last week, I promised you guys that I was going to give away a couple of our custom bento boxes. I have 2 custom bento boxes left. All you had to do was leave a comment down below and you were entered. Now, I was gonna pick, don't hold me accountable, okay? I had nothing to do with the picking. The guy behind the camera that cracks his beer and drinks before anybody else, he chose the names, okay? So if you're happy, it was me. If you're unhappy, it was David's fault, okay? So I'm gonna read the people that he picked magically out of the hat. All_is_outdoors. Congratulations. You won one of the boxes. And then at MPTOCCO. Okay? MP Toko. You also won one of the boxes, so congratulations to you. If you are those people, I'm not going to reach out to you. Okay, so send me a DM, send us an email, let us know that that is you, and then we will get your shipping info and get those out to you. So please don't fall for any random, scammy things asking you for info. I'm not going to do it. So you know who you are. I'll also post this on Instagram in case you're not watching this, and then just find us, reach out, and let us know. So thank you guys for commenting. It's always fun to give stuff away, but really, I really, really appreciate this community and that you guys are here and that you watch these episodes. Of course, thank you for the business. If you have any questions on anything that we covered, you know where to find me. My Instagram's the beginning of every episode, so I'll dive down rabbit holes with you. David, you have a favorite product
Grass
today?
pieces.
I mean, it's hard not to
1000%.
include that one. I think that's everybody's favorite product of the day. If you exclude grass piece, what is your favorite thing?
Batabata.
Yeah, that one, I think from a overall use standpoint, that one has so much game in the U.S. I've watched the 3.5 DoLive Beaver and the 4-inch DoLive Beaver just become a staple in so many people's arsenals. that one's just gonna fit right in, give a little bit different look. So I think that one, from a function standpoint, that one is probably the most functional thing outside of the grass piece that we talked about today. But from a weird standpoint, that Peller is super strange and intriguing. So I'm excited to get that thing in action. I'd love to hear if you guys have a favorite item of the day. And of course, if you have questions on anything that we talked about, drop it down below in the comments, hit me up in a DM, or find me somehow. I'm happy to help. So until next weekend, guys, thank you for your business. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching these videos. Hug your family, catch a big fish, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a wonderful week this week. Cheers to fall. It is very closely coming. It's almost here. So cheers. Cheers, my friends. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you guys next week. For now, it's peace. Later.